Every month in India, around 2.3 crore girls miss the school not because of poverty, not because of illness, but because of menstruation. For many, this absence becomes permanent. Nearly 40% of adolescent girls never return to school just because the stigma of menstruation takes over. The loss of dignity doesn't end at school gates itself. In workplaces too, women are denied leave, mocked, and interrogated over menstruation. In a documented case at a university, women were forced to submit photographs to prove their menstruation. For decades, these realities were dismissed as personal hygiene issues. Then on January 30, 2026, the silence was broken. In a landmark judgment, the Supreme Court declared menstrual health as a fundamental right under Article 21, affirming that dignity, equality, and bodily autonomy are not optional. Bringing menstrual health as a fundamental right under Article 21 by Supreme Court is said to be a revolutionary judgment. What is the background of this case? What was the exact judgment? And what are the implications of this judgment? Let's see in this video. Before we get into the details, let us see a few data with respect to the menstrual health in India. Around 2.3 crore school-going girls actually miss school because of the menstrual health issues. And around 40% of permanent dropout rate among girls is seen is because of the menstrual health issues. Around 2.4 crore lakh economic loss is seen with respect to working women because of the menstrual health issues. The background of this case goes like this, where a social worker, Dr. Jaya Thakur, she lodges a public interest litigation PIL in December 2024 seeking the implementation of menstrual hygiene policy for school-going girls, especially targeting the adolescent girls with respect to classes 6 to 12. On the other hand, the Supreme Court actually expanded the scope of this case significantly after a disturbing incident which was seen in Maharishi Dayanand University of Haryana in late of 2025, where a sanitation worker, female sanitation worker, were alleged to prove that they were menstruating by sending photographs of their private parts to their superiors. Okay, and Supreme Court actually took this incident as very seriously, linking this menstrual hygiene directly to the bodily autonomy and dignity. Supreme Court on 30th of January 2026 gave a landmark judgment stating that the menstrual health is now under the Article 21 and Article 21A as a fundamental right. And based on this ruling, now the mandatory menstrual hygiene policy for school-going girls to be met in every school in India. Based on this judgment, the private schools and government schools in India have to provide a few mandatory facilities such as the free sanitary napkins from 6th class to 12th class, and these sanitary napkins have to be a quality of biodegradable, okay, and along with that the ease of access, preferably in a vending machine. Along with that, the functional toilets have to be there, and with the disability access, and along with that the washing facilities must be provided with adequate water and so forth to cleaning and everything. This judgment actually mandates a few obligations on the government, such as that every school, whether government or private, both in urban and rural, has to provide the functional gender segregated toilets with usable water connectivity. Along with that, they have to be maintained to ensure privacy and accessibility with the disabilities, and all student toilets must be equipped with the functional washing facilities at all times, and the quality of the napkins have to be provided, and that has to be ensured by the government itself, and all states and union territories must ensure that every school, whether government or private, they establish a menstrual hygiene management corners. Okay, this is one of the most important aspect where, so these menstrual hygiene corners are very important aspect of this judgment, where now every schools are now required to establish a dedicated menstrual hygiene management corners which will have the spare supplies of the disposable bags and disposable pads, and there will be emergency kits where availability of spare uniforms and innerwear, and which will address the urgent menstrual issues. Now we will see the implications of the judgment. So the first implication is that it is now a fundamental right. So whenever a right is treated as a fundamental right, you can directly approach the Supreme Court or the High Court when it is infringed. It expands the word dignity in the right to life and dignity, where for the future references with respect to reproductive rights or workplace health and also the bodily autonomy, this will be treated as a benchmark. And the second thing is that for the educational institutions, now either it might be government or it might be private, the menstrual health and sanitation will be treated as a basic amenity, not as a luxury amenity. And the inclusive infrastructure where the water and sanitation has to be gender neutral, and it has to accommodate the disabled person as well. Along with that, the MHM corner standards, where for the emergency purposes and for any other purposes, now they have to keep a repository. Along with that, the economic and environmental impacts, where the market shift from the plastic to biodegradable is done, and starting this at a very school level is a very good push. Now this will also reduce the dropout rates, and this will increase quality in India. Okay, now these are the implications. I hope you have understood in a very holistic sense, and we will be back with another video. Thank you so much.